Welcome to the Flex Life 5 podcast, episode number 1. Ooh, super
Scary.
exciting.
Scary.
All right, shocking events that have happened in our businesses.
So you have, what do you own? Just tell me that.
So we have the laundromat, we have the Airbnbs, we do some social media. Well, my husband does some of the social media, and then we have the midterm rentals, the long-term rentals, and then, well, the anesthesia business, which is just me working, and then our like course and that kind of thing that I'm doing by social media.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Okay. My husband and I are involved in much less. We own long-term rentals.
Much less. Multiple rentals down at the seashore.
On the Gulf Coast. So we have about 10 or so rentals down there. And then we have a boutique hotel. Can't even see it because of my head. We have a boutique hotel. It's an 1871 boarding house saloon that we recently renovated, and it's 8 Airbnb rentals. But before it was short-term rental, we have cottages in the back, which is a fancy name for a duplex. And we were doing midterm rentals to contract workers. So we have that, and then I do locum tenens for anesthesia with you. I've known you since, 2019?
Yeah, to your dismay. But anyways, with all of our fun and exciting service businesses, we have had some shocking events that have happened once or twice to our lovely dismay or discredit or however you want to say it. So one of the few things, that I have noticed is a lot of people come into the laundromat and they bring their animal stuff. And so they bring poopy things and they just wash them and they don't even get the poop out of it. Have you ever gone in and I don't know how everybody else's washers kind of seem like they're always clean in a laundromat, and I thought, it's going to be so nice and easy to have this amazing laundromat because it's going to be so passive and so easy.
And clean.
Yeah, people just put money into the machines, they clean their stuff, and then they put it into a dryer and they leave.
And you collect the money and you go home.
You just collect the money and you go home, right? I'll just have somebody come and clean it once a day and it'll be all good. No, not quite so much. But hey, that's okay. But now, more than anything, people like to bring their poopy stuff and they leave it.
Okay, I have a question. You called me or texted me one morning and said the poop wasn't in the washer.
It was not in the washer. There was a huge poop. And it was not in the washer.
Where?
Somebody decided to drop trow and poop on the floor. Now, we did have two people decided to go into the bathroom at one point.
And do what?
And I don't know exactly what they did. We don't have cameras in the bathroom, we saw 2 people go into the bathroom and 2 people exit the bathroom, and then they called us on the telephone. Hey, just to let you know, your sink is on the floor. So then we closed the bathroom. So now it's permanently closed.
I don't blame you.
And it's only for employees, and when we're there, we unlock the door for someone if they need to go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. So this person decided to drop trow at 8:30 at night and go to the bathroom on the floor.
And it had to be cleaned up.
Of course somebody's got to clean it up, and who do you think cleaned it up at 4 o'clock in the morning before work?
So sorry.
Yeah, that was me.
So sorry.
So
along those lines, we had a tenant in the last couple months, I'll say that. Found out he was away at a funeral, and so I told Bill, why don't you ride over there? I know he has a large pet called a pit bull that he has at his apartment, and I want to make sure that he took it with him. No. He was gone for 4 days and used his Newly renovated. We put $50,000 in, brand new LVP, granite, new appliances, everything, as his kennel.
Oh, super!
Bill sent me a picture looking through the front door because you can't enter into a property unless you have permission. We called animal control. They said you could go in and check and make sure this pit bull, who's been left alone, has enough food and water. But they wouldn't do anything about leaving the animal alone for 4 days. Like, we're not going in to check on a pit bull. Thank you very much. We don't know if it's friendly or not.
Super.
Yeah. Takeaway is when you leave home, take your pet with you or somebody to come check on them 3 times a day, 4 times a day, 6 times a day, or better yet, put them in a kennel boarding place.
I think I can top that.
How?
You know, I had tenants that were there for college, and they had an emotional support animal.
Oh, nice.
They had a emotional support dog, and they had their social worker try and say that they needed their emotional support dog. Do you know they had a picture of their emotional support dog that they had spray painted? They spray painted him, and then they put polka dots all over him and put him on Facebook. That was so kind. I'm sure that was very emotionally supportive for them.
Or they were emotionally unstable.
That was probably very helpful for them. But then, you know, beyond that, they, within 9 months, caused a good $5,000 worth of damage to all of the apartment, or the home. Actually, that was our rental home that we had. After that, we decided to sell that house. But all of the furniture was ruined. All of the carpet, well, actually, it was all wood floors. We had to get them all refinished.
And that only cost $5,000?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
That was the end result of what we got out of them right before we went to small claims court.
That's an idea. Because I also had a tenant, may or may not be the same one, called us and said had a leak in his newly renovated duplex. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And we had put in a tankless hot water system. So we're like, he's like, I got a huge leak. I got a huge water bill, and with the tankless hot water heater, it heats on demand, so it should be less power, you know, because you're not heating hot water all the time. So he calls and says, I've got a leak somewhere. I've got this outrageous water bill. I've got this outrageous power bill. And our contractor goes over, and he goes, well, I think I found the leak. It was a bathtub wide open. He had left running. The water company estimated that it had to be running for 2 solid months.
2 months of running water?
Yes. Heated running water.
Oh, that's super. Now, you're like 1,000 miles away from my town, though, right?
Right.
So probably not the same people.
Could be.
Oh, okay.
But we found the leak.
Yeah,
Thankfully,
the leak was probably the left on water.
We were so mad. We had put a new roof on, and we thought, this roof is leaking. Oh my goodness. The previous owners had the air conditioner and the hot water tank up in the attic. And we're like, is something left up there? Was there a pan left up there? Something's leaked. But he left the water on so long that he caused black mold in his laundry room and his bathroom. And that's in the process, as we speak, being
repaired.
Sheetrock cut out, black mold remediation.
Awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Well, I think I can probably top that.
Okay, what is that?
So, we had someone call us from a lovely online travel agency for our midterm rental, and I had a brief moment of insanity. I'm going to plead insanity.
You got scammed.
Well...
Just say it. You got scammed. Did you get scammed or did you get played?
I got played.
You got played.
I got played.
I've been scammed before.
They were coming from your neck of the woods.
Missouri.
St. Louis.
Missouri.
Yeah.
St. Charles. They left my
they left you. They may have been staying at your hotel.
Yeah, St. Charles, Missouri.
But they weren't the type that would be staying at your hotel. But they said they were actually staying in St. Louis.
You wouldn't believe the type
I
of
don't
people that
actually
stay in
think
our
they
hotel.
were. I don't. Well, yeah, I might now. All right. Well, they said they were leaving St. Louis, but they were coming from Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but I don't believe them now. But
Why?
well, it turns out they had Missouri plates on their cars. They had a Missouri driver's license.
They had a driver's license?
Oh, well, it wasn't exactly a driver's license because what they sent was a non-driver's driver's license.
But he was driving.
But he was driving
From Pennsylvania.
With his family with 2 cars. I don't understand how that works either.
Party?
But neither one was clean enough to have actually driven very far.
Oh.
Pretty dusty, actually. But they decided they were staying at our...
wanted to stay.
Well, yeah, they wanted to stay at our midterm rental for 30 days before they moved into their home.
That makes sense.
And they were moving back to Missouri. Well, we tried to charge them the rent for the place, but unfortunately one of my online charge accounts for Stripe had had some issues because it had been charged fraudulently in the past, and they closed the account.
Ooh.
So there was no way to actually charge and no way that he had actually been charged. But his card supposedly had been declined and had already exceeded the amount, and so...
He had an excuse.
Yeah, there was always an excuse as to why the charge wasn't going through. So I finally set up a different PayPal account and said, at least pay for the night, and we will figure it out the next day.
Yeah. So you're trying to do him a favor,
So
even
I
though
was
you're
trying
not
to make
supposed
it
to do
happen.
that.
Yeah. But even that charge didn't work. It wasn't going through with PayPal, even though I was just immediately setting this up. And I thought it was, my end again. And I'm like, you know what? So long as it's done by 9 o'clock in the morning, we'll figure the rest of it out. Well, come about 2 hours later, I think, we had started to kind of question it, and I asked for a copy of the ID, and they sent this ID, and it was the non-driver's driver's license. I started to look for any kind of inclination of where they were from in Philadelphia, and nothing was making sense. And all of a sudden, kind of figured out that this was not accurate. I looked them up, and everything was Missouri. There was nothing from Philadelphia, no friends from Philadelphia, no nothing. Nothing added up. Turns out,
scamming.
By the next morning, I said, well, if they're not there, this is a really good thing. But I called the police and had them meet my parents there to change the locks, and had to have them removed by trespass. The police went in and told them they had to leave because they hadn't actually gotten any payments through. And
so they're trespassing.
They ended up leaving voluntarily, which is a good thing.
Yeah, you still had to clean it.
But we had to clean it. They had more people there than were actually stated to have been there. The child had wet the bed already.
Nice.
They had smoked in the house.
Bodily functions again.
Yes, they had smoked in the house. They had put sheets all over the windows. They
were setting up camp.
Yeah, they had been drinking in the house.
With kids? With kids?
Yeah, and they had there was something else they had done, but really they had significant criminal history and then been in jail before, so that was one of the things that we had found overnight.
That's when I taught you about CaseNet in Missouri, where you can look up somebody and see if they have a criminal past.
So that was a life lesson to make sure things go through before letting them in the home or getting coats done. So, lesson number 6042 for me.
So maybe we should look up all of our Airbnb guests and see if they have a criminal history.
Somehow, I don't think that's probably the
Good
best
idea.
idea or the best thing, but definitely something to be cognizant of, especially before letting just anybody in without payment or otherwise. So, lesson learned.
So, since you brought up your parents, your dad saved our butt at our open house. We had an open house
impressive.
in end of last year, and we had several politicians attend because we were having a ribbon cutting ceremony. We were having, appetizers, hors d'oeuvres, champagne.
Sounds fancy.
It was fancy. Dressed up. Several photographers there. Woo woo.
Woohoo.
Magazine. Magazine articles there. But I come out of the hotel, and we're at the corner of two streets, French Street and 2nd Street in St. Charles. And your dad's up on the step ladder that I provide in every suite. And
Wow, you have step ladders in every suite?
I do.
That's
I do.
amazing.
I also have bidets and really nice showers.
Well, it's always good to have a clean.
Then you wouldn't need your laundromat. so
Well,
much.
then the laundromat would be a little bit.
And your dad's on the step ladder, peeling something off the stop sign. And it was one of the major attendees of our function, and it was called Stop the Dickhead. And it had a picture of him with failings
Oh.
drawn to his mouth. So let's leave it there.
Oh.
I was going to.
We may have to.
Edit.
We may have to edit this. Huh. Okay. Well.
So that was fun.
In other words, there's always fun things in business and life and investing that just happen.
It happens. So recently, in the last 2 weeks, we had my housekeeper called, and she said she'd found a purse with a large amount of money.
Hey, money.
And she was at least honest to admit it.
Oh.
That she had found it. Not admit it. That, be honest about finding this purse with a lot of money. And I said, well, we're not going to tell them, what color it is, etc. She's going to have
Finders keepers.
That's what she wanted.
Oh.
So anyway, I made the mistake. Don't ever do this.
Oh.
I gave the people the housekeeper's phone number so that she could meet up with them, because we are over 1,000 miles away from the hotel, managing long distance. And they started harassing her. They said, ship the purse to Ohio, ship the purse to Minnesota, ship the purse here, there. So she's like, I'm getting weird vibes off of this. She'd already told me that a party had happened there, and we had pictures. And she goes, I'm just going to take this to the police department. I said, that's a great idea. Let them handle it. So the detective who took her statement said it sounded like human trafficking was going on. Come to find out, this girl flies back to St. Louis to come to St. Charles to pick up her purse with all this money of it. Says she has this amount of money, several $1,000s. And that we stole her money. We didn't steal her money. I was never physically in charge of the purse, and it clearly says, which I told her, she didn't read checkout instructions, we're not responsible for any items left at the hotel. Be sure to check everything. And then the lieutenant doing the investigation said, no, it was just a bunch of strippers having an after party.
After party.
After stripping party.
Oh.
With several gentlemen that felt like they could threaten.
It was a work party. Just a work party.
It wasn't Christmas. It wasn't like a.
Well, then how does she know that her purse was not, attacked by somebody that was at the work party?
That's what I said.
I'm just saying.
That's what I said.
We
turned in what we had, and that's what the detective told me was in there when it was turned in. So now I'm being sued.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm quite sure that's happening.
I don't think that'll come through.
Yeah, it's sad these days, but even if that happened, there's no chain of custody on their part, but there is on your part at least.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad my housekeeper took it to the police. So.
Well, and she had somebody else with them, and so
yeah, there was witnesses.
Yeah, and
she sent me a picture.
So I think that's, it's just sad that in service businesses, it's just, we always have the things that happen with us, and don't think that everything is always going to be super easy, especially,
It's been fun. It's been fun.
It's always fun.
I'm learning things.
We're always learning. And
I am so learning things.
So business, investing, life, we're full of fun, excitement. So we want this to be a fun, exciting kind of channel. We want to, we want to have fun with this.
And mainly our objective is to have a flexible life where we have worked to we're not there yet.
We're getting close.
Financial independence.
We want to involve the financial independence on this podcast. Yes. We want to involve life.
Our lessons.
Real life. I mean, we have all the things that happen. I have younger kids. She's got older kids. We both want to retire, but neither one of us there. I'm in my 40s. She's in her almost 40s. Not quite. A little older, but not by much. Hey! Okay, so... Anyways, we're very close. Both of us, I think, are closer to retirement than we are to our 20s. So, I think we're both like 5 years or less to retirement.
Oh, definitely.
I think we're both like very close. If we had to, we could quote unquote retire if we sold things and did that kind of thing.
I don't know if you counted it up, but last year I worked about 29 weeks. And the other weeks we took care of business because you have to on your time off. So we were, opening the hotel last year.
I worked a little bit more than that, but that's because
But it's flexible.
Yeah.
You can flex up, you can flex down.
Absolutely.
That's the great part of this job is that you can take more work if you need it to pay off things, or you can work less.
Well, it's just because I put so much into everything last year.
Yeah.
So, anywho. The Flex Life 5 podcast, that's what we're doing, and that's what we're trying to show you. This is our first ever episode, and I know it's a little rough, but hey, we're trying to have fun with it. Find us on, right now, YouTube.
I'm Suzanne.
And I'm John.
And
this is us.
This is us.